spent about 3 hours putting all of that makeup on in one soundstage. They'd put a potato sack on the poor man's head and walk him to the next soundstage over so that nobody would be clued in as to what that monster was going to look like. It was said that that makeup was so terrifying. I know it's not today, but remember, this is the first time it happened. It was said that the makeup was so terrifying that Boris Karloff's co-star couldn't even be on set with him. So what he would do is when they were filming, he would make sure to wiggle his upstage hand. Upstage means the one that the audience can't see, so it'd be the same. He'd wiggle his fingers to remind her that, don't worry, I'm not a big scary monster. I'm actually just Boris Karloff. Now that Frankenstein's monster role really set Boris Karloff on the map as one of our famous movie monsters. In the days of our monster movies, we did not have the use of computer-generated imagery. Oh no, we had practical and mechanical effects. So in this next part, no 3D glasses, because I'm going to show you exactly how we made that monster movie magic. It's with CGI, we take care of that after we've already done filming, but with practical and mechanical effects, they have it live right in front of the camera. So Rob and I are going to show you some of those effects now, live, right in front of the tram. Hang on to it, everybody. Rob and I are about to shake this vehicle. Right, can you believe this movie is all around the world? This is Earthquake, the big one. Check out yours right now. Okay, here's a clip from Bones, starring Emily Deschanel and David Boreanaz. Take a change of pace right now. Too much shaking and rocking and rolling. Instead, we're going to enjoy the view of this little beach. Don't worry, the beach is only closed because we had a small shark problem, but we caught the shark.
Sí, lo que colgado.
There's another shark.
Oh, ya lo cazaron. Oh,
wait, Officer George is still out there? George, get out of the water!
ahí está. Se lo tragó.
Rob's gonna keep us safe. We're gonna move forward and hide behind these very flammable barrels of gasoline. Oh, the shark just took the beer. plastic shark as we pass on by, you can see him doing the backstroke, getting ready to perform for the very next tram. Now, our plastic shark performs beautifully, hundreds of times a day. A plastic shark that does not perform as well, or nearly as consistently, is Bruce, the mechanical shark from Jaws.
That's not the marine shark. The shark is much better. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, the shark is not working. It's the shark.
We just waited around. We just waited for the shark. The wild animals is why we love the shark a lot.
You know, he owes the shark a lot, but also his cast and crew, folks, because there were so many issues with that shark from Jaws. The production was delayed more than 100 days. The original release date for Jaws was set to be in the winter of 1974, but because of all of the issues with the shark, it wasn't able to be released until the summer of 1975. And you know what? It ended up being a good thing because Jaws broke the box office and created a whole new genre of summer blockbusters. These days, it's hard to imagine a summer in the movie theater without some big name action flicks.
Sí, chingona.
All right, we're
Esqueleto.
doing it. Folks, we are heading into the sleepy little town of Colonial Street, which you might recognize better as Wisteria Lane from ABC's Desperate Housewives. There's a few other filming examples on your screens. Movies, television shows, commercials, music videos, they all film right here. The brown house on your right-hand side is the Ace Hardware house. Now, the two houses at the end of the cul-de-sac were added for Desperate Housewives. Before there was a house at the end of the cul-de-sac, there was a big church up there. It's where Eddie Munster went to school in the Munsters, and it's where Buffy the Vampire Slayer filmed their season 4 Emmy Award-winning episode, Hush. Now, some of these sets here, they all look like real houses, right? Some of them are practical, meaning you can film inside and outside, and some are just facades, meaning the fronts or sides of buildings. Because again, we only ever build what the camera's going to see. A great example of a facade on this street is the house coming up on your right-hand side with a red door. Look closely through the windows. There's a tree growing in the middle of the house. The mustard-colored house with the stones on the bottom, it was once home to the Hardy Boys. It's now home to the Vishwa Kumar family in Mindy Kaling's Netflix series, Never Have I Ever. And the lilac house with the 43 on the side, don't be fooled, it's actually 1313 Mockingbird Lane. The Monsters. Now, what's also really cool about this portion of our backlot is we didn't just build a whole neighborhood all at once. Instead, each of these houses was built on a soundstage and used first productions in soundstages. When we were finished filming, and rather than tearing down those houses and using the materials for something new, we moved the houses up here to this little neighborhood, and over time, we got the entire town of Colonial Street.
Mira
All right,
que hay
now, it
dos
might look like Rob and I are driving this tram right into the middle of nowhere.
lados.
But guess what? That's exactly the point. The area on either side of the tram is actually a filming location known as Wilderness Road. If you needed to film something in the woods, you could absolutely take your cast and crew camping, or you could hop off the 101 and come right here to Universal Studios where we have power, running water, and emergency services and get the same job done right here. That's what Netflix's movie Bird Box did when they filmed Sandra Bullock's campsite over to your left-hand side. And what Fox's series 911 did when they filmed a daring limousine rescue just down the hill on your right-hand side. You know, speaking of limousines, these days at Universal Studios, it's pretty hard to go far without running into a car. Just around the corner, see if you recognize any of your favorite metal monsters. Furious vehicles in this lineup. Now we're home to your favorite movie monsters, your favorite metal monsters, which folks, some of our monsters are just a little bit more psycho. Welcome to the Bates Motel. And up on the hill, we have the original Psycho House, where legend has it you can still see Mother rocking in her. Uh-oh. Folks, that's Norman Bates. Don't make eye contact. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Rob, I think we've been spotted. Better get out of here. Hey, Norman, buddy, I promised these people a nice, safe tour of our back lot. 45 minutes to an hour tops. Please stop. Not car 4, Norman. Not car 4. Car 4, are you okay? Thumbs up if we still are alive with you. Okay, good. And now for one of the largest sets still standing in Hollywood, this is the crash site from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. What you see on either side of the tram are pieces of an actual 737 purchased and destroyed for the making of this movie. The aircraft cost filmmakers $60,000 to purchase, but to move it here from the Mojave Desert cost an additional $200,000. It's always the shipping and handling, folks. All right, we're going to park right here for a minute so I can show you an interview from production designer Rick Carter and director Steven Spielberg.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision of Spielberg. We forget to sit down and talk about the War of the World. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Thank you. That's me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Okay, I'm closed.
Mommy.
Robbie, get in. Get in.
Since being used for the War of the Worlds, you've seen this portion of our backlog in a few homeowners insurance commercials, as well as Nicki Minaj's music video Fly featuring Rihanna. They were dancing on the tail end of the airplane on your left-hand side. Now, when we first put the crash sign on the backlog, we didn't tell our neighbors who live up on the hill. So there were a few really distressed 911 calls until everybody got the message that it's a set, no plane crashed, we destroyed it. In fact, the reason that it's cut in half with the top off isn't for design purposes, it's because we put it on a trailer to go in here